Hi, I'm Jim, and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop. Today, I'm going to put the new bushings in on the front end of my father-in-law's machine. I bought a kit. It comes with about everything you need. It's got the 4 new cotter keys that go through the tie rods. It's got the 4 washers. It's got the 4 bushings. It's got the 4 bushings for the kingpins. It's got 2 new washers that go on the top and 2 new snap rings that go on top of them. And this kit also came with the bushing for the steering shaft. Now this machine has the oval steering wheel. And I had a viewer call the other day and want to know how that came off. If it came off the same as the machines with the bicycle handlebars. And it does not. The bicycle handlebars is 2-piece shaft. You got your steering shaft that comes up halfway from the bottom, and your handlebar goes through and meets inside the frame, and there's a bolt and a collar that you clamp on there that pinches it on. We're going to show you how to get the oval wheel off, and it's a little more work than the steering wheels, the handlebars work. But let's go over here and I'll show you what I've got done already and how it comes apart. Now just under the bottom edge of the steering wheel, there's a roll pin that you have to drive out with a hammer and a punch. Now I've got these punches that are made for roll pins. They have a little bump on the end of them that centers the punch in the roll pin, and it can't slide off as you're driving it through. I don't know if you've used a regular punch for a roll pin, but they always seem to get out of alignment, and instead of driving the pin out, you're pounding on the top edge of the hole. So I got this one out. I'm not going to put that one back in because it's bent and it looks pretty, both ends are peened up pretty good. I think somebody else has had this out. I got this off. The wheel comes off. I buffed this shaft because it was really rusty. This pad comes off, and then this big washer comes off. The washer's hollow on the inside. That's to cover up and hide this big cotter key that's underneath here. That keeps the steering shaft from going out. Now we're going to try and get this cotter key out because I want to replace the top bushing. The bottom bushing is fine, so I'm just going to leave that one alone. They do not give you another one of these cotter keys, so you're going to have to reuse this one and straighten it out the best you can. Which is probably going to be a lot easier said than done. We may end up looking in a drawer and finding a new one because this one is not cooperating at all. Pulling this out of here is a trip because it hits on both sides once you have them straightened out. So I'm going to cut it off. I'll be right back. Okay, I finally got that out, but to get it out of there, once you straighten the ends out that they had rolled around, it's longer than what this hole is, and you can't rotate it around to pull it out. I'm not sure how they got that in there, but that was a pretty good trick. Now, I don't know if I'm going to reuse this one or not, because I don't know if I can straighten the end out. Okay, now we took this big washer off, the steel washer that was under the cotter key. And now we're going to try and pull out this old bushing. And now we'll shove in the new one. A lot tighter fit. We'll put the washer back on. And I did get that cotter key straightened out, so maybe I can reuse it. We'll pry it down in there. And then try to bend the ends around. You gotta have that bent pretty tight in order for that plastic washer to go back on it. And I don't imagine you can see much of anything, but at least you know how to get it apart. You really got to curl them around so this cover goes over and covers that up again. Now we'll go down to the front. Now, first thing I'm going to do is take these cotter keys out of the tie rods and pull the tie rods out. And I don't want to bore you too much, so I'm going to shut this off and get the tie rods off. Okay, we got the tie rods off, and they are in real good shape. Usually up here where the rides in the bushing, they're really worn, and these look really good. So hopefully we caught this in time so we didn't wear out any of the holes. Now, if you had to replace the bottom bushing in this steering shaft, this one has no slop. Once you have the top apart and that cotter key pulled out, you can pull the whole shaft right out the bottom and replace this bottom bushing. You do not have to take off the cotter key on the bottom of this shaft. You can leave that alone. Now we'll take the snap rings off of here and put in the new bushings on the kingpins. Dropped my washer, but I don't need it. I got new ones. If we can get this out. This one is not wore through yet, so that one wasn't too bad. This one, however, get it out of here. You can see that we're wore through. We have a hole in the top. You can see the pliers through there. That wouldn't have went too much longer and it would have wore out the kingpins. These you do not want to damage because they're a little hard to find. So we'll put the bushings in. They fit really tight in the hole. That is good, because on one machine I had to repair the hole on this front end, and that isn't really all that easy. Now we're going to slip this back in here. And that is really a tight fit. We'll put a little WD-40 on that shaft, and hopefully we'll let it slide in a little better. Wow, them really fit nice. Now we got the new washer and new snap ring. And I'll be right back when I get the other side taken apart. Now this side's wore a little worse. This is the top one, just like the other one, had a little hole. But this bottom one, really bad. And luckily, it's not worn to the point where it was hurting my axle. Or the kingpin, I should say. That still looks good. So we'll put these other two bushings in. Nice tight fit, that's what you want. And we're going to put some WD on this shaft before I start. Much better. Now we'll put the new washer and new snap ring on. And it looks like it's going to be another very nice fit. I think we're up a little bit on the back side. There we go. Snapped right in. That really stiffened them up nice. Now we'll pull out all these tie rod bushings. This one's just going to be ornery, I guess. There. Now we can snap the new ones in. We actually have to tap these a little bit. Now the ones in the kingpins go in from the top side down. The ones in the steering shaft go in the bottom and they go up. Them fit in a little looser than these do. Okay, I got all the bushings in. We're going to put the tie rods on. And I think I might use 2 washers on each one. That one fell out. To make sure I don't get any slop. could almost use another washer in there. Okay, I dug around in my stash of cotter keys and I found some with larger diameter, so hopefully it will hold that a little tighter and keep that from slopping around. Okay, we got all the cotter keys in, the bushings in, and the washers. And the new cotter keys they sent me, as you can tell, is much smaller diameter than the old ones were. That's why I had a lot of slop. So I dug some out of my stash and I used them. There's no slop in that at all anymore. Next, we're going to take care of these crappy bearings they put in these machines. I'm going to go down to my bearing supplier and see if I can get something a little better for that. But that's it. Basically, I've done this video before on rebuilding the front end. Basically, I just wanted to show you how to get the steering wheel off and pull the shaft out if you have to do any work to that. And that's about it. So work safe, have fun, tighten that front end up a little bit, and don't forget to subscribe. It is free, doesn't cost you a thing. And we'll talk to you soon. So long.